We should dispel these 8 big lies about sugar. There are a few things about sugar that we can all agree on. First of all, it tastes fantastic. And number 2, it's really unclear. Even though it's generally accepted that sugar isn't particularly healthy, there is a lot of misinformation out there about how much, if any, sweets should be included in your diet. Can you really lose weight, get rid of acne, prevent mood swings, or address other health issues by cutting out sugar? The solutions may not be what you expect, it turns out. Here are 8 facts about sugar that, even those who are knowledgeable about nutrition, might not be aware of, along with some tips for incorporating it into your diet. 1. Sugar is sugar, period. Most likely, you've heard how everyone needs to consume less sugar. But what experts really mean is that we should consume less sugar that has been added. For example, the brown sugar in chocolate chip cookies or the honey you drizzle on yogurt are examples of extra sugar that is added to foods to make them taste sweeter. The sugar that is present naturally in some foods, such as milk or fruit, is distinct from added sugar. One benefit of natural sugar is that it comes with a package of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that help counteract some of the negative effects of the sugar content, according to Georgie Fear, RD, author of Lean Habits for Lifelong Weight Loss. As an illustration, fruit contains fiber that slows the rate at which our bodies absorb sugar. What this means is that you shouldn't be concerned about things like whole fruit or plain dairy, like milk or unsweetened yogurt. You should keep an eye out for sources of added sugar, such as desserts, sweet drinks, and packaged foods. Versus sugar. Sugar. There is also the fact that foods with naturally occurring sugar typically have lower overall sugar content. For instance, a cup of fresh strawberries contains 7 grams of sugar, whereas a pouch of fruit snacks flavored with strawberries contains 11 grams of sugar. 2. Natural or minimally processed sugars are healthier for you. It is accurate to say that less processed sweeteners, such as honey or maple syrup, have higher nutrient contents than highly processed ones, such as white sugar. They won't, however, likely have a measurable effect on your health because the amounts of these nutrients are minuscule. All sources of sugar are the same to your body. Furthermore, your body doesn't treat these natural sweeteners any differently. All forms of sugar are converted by the digestive tract into monosaccharides, which are simple sugars. Whether it came from table sugar, honey, or agave nectar, your body cannot tell. It only detects monosaccharide sugar molecules, says Amy Goodson, Mississippi, RD. Additionally, since each of these sugars contains 4 calories per gram, they all have an identical effect on your weight. 3. I advise you to completely give up sugar. You don't have to completely give up added sugar. Regarding how much sugar you should consume each day, various health organizations have different recommendations. However, they all concur that a healthy diet can include a small amount of sugar. The U.S. According to the Dietary Guidelines trusted source, adults who consume 2,000 calories per day should consume no more than 12.5 teaspoons, or 50 grams, of added sugar each day. That equates to roughly 1 16-ounce bottle of cola. Nevertheless, the American Heart Association trusted source recommends that men and women each consume no more than 9 teaspoons, 36 grams, of sugar per day. Sugar is not a necessary substance for your body. Fear therefore asserts that less is better. But that doesn't mean you can't consume any at all. You guessed it, moderation is the key. 4. You can't avoid sugar, I'm afraid. The U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates that a staggering 75% of Americans consume more sugar than they should. Nutritional advice. If you're unsure if you fall into this category, try tracking your food intake for a few days with a food tracking app. This can help you realize how much sweet food you're actually consuming and make it simpler to consume less added sugar. Cutting back need not be painful if you are overdoing it. Try eating smaller portions of your favorite sweets rather than vowing to give them up. After all, half a cup of ice cream contains half as much sugar as a full cup, explains Fear. Observe packaged foods as well. There may be more added sugar than you might anticipate in foods like tomato sauce, flavored yogurt, bread, and cereal. Thus, pay attention to the nutritional information on food labels and seek out choices that will enable you to stick to your daily sugar limit. 5. You're sick because of sugar. Dot. Perhaps you've heard that consuming sugar puts you at risk for cancer, Alzheimer's, or heart disease. However, consuming sugar in moderation won't cause you to live shorter lives. Consuming added sugar was not associated with an increased risk of death, according to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, trusted source that tracked more than 350,000 adults for more than 10 years. So long as you don't go overboard. A moderate amount of sugar doesn't appear to be harmful, but consuming too much can increase your risk of gaining weight. However, overindulging in cheese, potatoes, or even brown rice can also be harmful. According to Chris Solid, RD, Senior Director of Nutrition Communications for the International Food Information Council Foundation, excess total calories in our diets, including those from sugar, contribute to weight gain, which could lead to obesity and the possibility of the onset of chronic disease. In the end, it won't harm to treat yourself to a donut on Sundays. However, you might want to avoid it if you know it'll make you eat several donuts and go over your daily calorie limit. In a similar vein, refrain from using this fact to coerce someone into consuming sugar when they don't want to. 6. The drug and addiction known as sugar. Giuseppe Gamarasa, Ph.D., writes for PLOS that comparing sugar to drugs of abuse is an oversimplified shortcut. It is well known by experts that eating sugar activates brain pathways related to pleasure and reward. Ali Webster, RD, Ph.D., Associate Director of Nutrition Communications for the International Food Information Council Foundation, explains that although the overlapping paths may have effects similar to those of substance use, they are not addictive in the same way as drugs. Why, then, do some people feel such a rush after ingesting sugary foods and feel like they need a constant supply to avoid crashing? Eating sugary foods causes your blood sugar to spike and then quickly drop, which can make you feel lethargic and headache-ridden. According to Goodson, this frequently leads to people looking for more sugar to stabilize their blood sugar and help them feel better. The comparison between sugar and drugs is still up for discussion. There isn't much proof to back up the claim that sugar has addictive and drug-like properties, according to a recent analysis published in the European Journal of Nutrition. Scientific American also mentioned that altering our food environment can lessen these cravings. You might experience fewer cravings for sweets when ordering out if you remain committed to avoiding added sugars at home, such as in breakfast pastries, quick cereals, or loaded yogurt. About the use of the word addiction. Although some people may crave sugar, it's unlikely that the average person is addicted. Because of actual brain changes, addiction is a serious medical condition that makes it challenging for users to stop using drugs. It is irresponsible to compare sugar to drugs in this way. 7. A good substitute is something without sugar. It might be tempting to substitute sugary foods, such as diet soda or sugar-free cookies, with those made with low or no calorie sweeteners. However, making that switch could backfire and is probably not healthy. According to a review of 37 studies found in the Canadian Medical Association Journal, the use of sweeteners like aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose is associated with weight gain rather than weight loss. Moreover, they were connected to a higher risk of high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, heart attacks, and stroke. The effects of these kinds of sweeteners on the body are still poorly understood by experts. But there is growing evidence to support the notion that they can negatively affect blood sugar, make it more difficult to control your appetite, and even mess with your gut bacteria. And doing those things could increase your risk of developing obesity and related health issues. 8. You can lose weight by following a low or no sugar diet. Yes, reducing your sugar intake will help you reach your weight loss objectives. But only if you're also conscious of your daily caloric intake. Fear emphasizes that a low or no sugar diet cannot ensure weight loss, saying it's very easy to swap sugary foods for other foods that actually pack more calories, which can lead to weight gain. In other words, even though the 600-calorie egg and sausage breakfast sandwich is much lower in sugar than your typical 300-calorie bowl of sugary cereal, it won't help you get back into your skinny jeans. Fear advises selecting unsweetened variations of the foods you typically eat, such as plain yogurt in place of vanilla. Reduce the amount of sugar you add to foods like oatmeal, coffee, or smoothies gradually if you can't find a suitable replacement. With regard to sugar, while not a nutritious food, sugar is also not the evil poison that it is sometimes portrayed as being. It's okay to have a little bit of it, even though most of us could do without having as much. So go ahead and indulge in a sweet treat now and then guilt-free.